So I'm delighted to be joined here by Kevin Harrington, Bantry Blues player, getting ready for this weekend's crunch game against Kanturk, the Premier Intermediate county final. It doesn't get much bigger than that for Bantry Blues. I suppose, first of all, Kevin, how are you feeling ahead of the game? Like, it's a big game for Bantry. You're going for your first adult title in 24 years.
Matthew, it's a great game to be looking forward to. I think, everyone involved with the team and certainly everyone around the town with any interest in football at all is really looking forward to us. And no doubt about it. There's a big test to come now with Kanturk Sunday week. But yeah, really looking forward to it now.
I suppose after getting relegated last year, like you mentioned it off air, that you weren't part of the team last year, but for the lads that were there, it was pretty hard to get back up on the horse, as people say, and drive on for this season, because most teams would really struggle in their first season down in Premier Intermediate, but not Bantry.
Yeah, relegation is always tough, and a few of the lads will be slagging me. I've been involved. I've been on a couple of teams that have been relegated over the years, both in Bantry a good few years back, and the club I was involved in Clare got relegated from senior to intermediate as well. Albeit we got back up again there too. But the lads last year would have been fierce disappointed, no doubt. To go again then this year and kind of get back on the horse, as you say, is tough. In fairness, David O'Donovan has come involved there, assembled a good management team around him, and it's all been positive since the start of the year. It was all about looking forward, building in the league, and tearing into the championship. So I kind of got back involved there around July or August or whenever it was, and in fairness, everything was really positive. There was no looking back at what had happened last year, and a couple of games later there, really pleased to be still in championship and be looking ahead to a county final, which is fantastic. So great response from, I suppose, the disappointment from last year for sure.
And looking at the group stage, like your first game against Ahada, and Ahada ended up qualifying with you at the end of the group stage as well. So that game was crucial to start things off.
That was a big game. The three games were tough games and good opponents. I think, in fairness to the county board, with the restructuring they've done, all grades are really competitive, and there's no gimme games there whatsoever. But Ahada to start out, that was a huge game. I don't know, were they favourites on paper, whatever, doesn't really matter. It's all about on the day. But real tough game. It was a bad night below or above in Éire Óg, and it was a huge test. And thankfully we came out the right side of it at the end of that game, and I think that gave everyone a huge boost. It was a huge ray of positivity in the team and in the club again. And even kind of seeing some of the faces of some of the loyal fans coming off the field that night, a bad night in Éire Óg, that was really kind of heartwarming, I think, for everyone involved, and I think gave us a great boost kind of going forward into the rest of the games for sure.
And the second game against Castleton-Bear, mentioned at the Southern Star, actually, Arthur Coakley, your selector, mentioned it as the Battle of the Bay. You won this battle by a point. It was a huge game, this one. Huge game to get over because they're rivals, It
was a huge game, and Jesus was down in Bear, and I don't know, it was 25 or it felt like 30 degrees Celsius that day we were playing there, whatever day it was, that Saturday or Sunday. Huge game of football, played in the right spirit. It was high scoring. I think Castletown scored 19 points or something like that, Matthew, but thankfully we just got enough done, got over the line. Really pleased to get that win again, get the second win, but I suppose a lot of things that we needed to work on as a team for sure after that, but great game below there. They're the kind of games you really remember, those tight games that you just come through at the last minute. So yeah, it was great to get that second win, and it set us up nicely then for the last group game against the Páirc.
And he mentioned the last game against the Páirc, like Arthur Coakley actually mentioned that the last time Bantry person was mentioned on the podcast, a member of our backroom team or a player, and he was kind of disappointed with the game against the Páirc. Would you agree with him?
I suppose going into the game against the Páirc, I think we'd already qualified for, at a minimum, the quarterfinals, so I suppose that has an effect on your mindset going into a game. There's no doubt about it. But I was gone from Bantry for 6 or 7 seasons, but I've never had an easy game against the Páirc. They're always huge competitors, and I've been on the losing side in championship games in the Páirc so many times, So I think again, it was the last game of the group. you know, we wanted to get the win. Thankfully, we did. Páirc were really pushing for a win as well to try stay up themselves. And even though they lost, they did manage to stay up on scoring difference. You know, so look, yeah, you can be disappointed on the day maybe with the performance, but I mean, at the end of the day, it was a good result, and winning's a habit, you know, Matthew. So I mean, look, 3 wins in the bounce. I think that set us up nicely, and the way it turned out, it obviously got us straight into the semi-final as well. So I think, look, the group phases was all about getting those results, you know, and look, the performances have been improving as well steadily too.
And you mentioned getting straight through to the semi-final. That was against Eve Larry, and you eventually won that in the end. But I just wanted to take it back a small bit before the Eve Larry game, watching the quarterfinals unfold as well. Like, is that kind of a difficult thing to do, just to wait how the other opponents in the Premier Intermediate Football Championship get on, or do you actually enjoy the break?
I personally enjoyed the break anyway myself. Look, it was an extra week or two to shake off a few little knocks or whatever, or even get a bit more training under the belt, you know, whatever the case may be. So I mean, look, I can't speak for other lads, but certainly for me, I wasn't watching the quarterfinals too much. You know, it was really a case of kind of focusing on ourselves individually and as a team, and getting ready for a semi-final, whoever was going to be against. And look, I mean, as I said there earlier on, the grades, I think the 2 senior grades, the 2 intermediate grades, the same. It is so competitive. You know, it didn't matter to us who we were going to be playing in semi-final. It was really about just getting ourselves ready for that match, you know.
And that match was against Eve Larry. You won that game at the end, 3-13 to 116. Like, I mentioned to Arthur in the episode that he was on the Southern Star podcast that this was going to be a difficult game. Like, Eve Larry were the goal getters, but it turned out in this game, you were the goal getters. You got 3 goals and eventually won the game.
Yeah, a savage game, a really, really good game of football. I think anyone who was at it would agree with me. It was probably one of the better competitive games in Cork this year. You know, again, played in the right spirits, 2 good footballing teams, some great scores, and I mean, look, it was in the balance up only until a few minutes to go, and look, thankfully, the couple of goals made the difference in the end. You know, look, goals win games, and I've been on many a team where the goals would have gone in on the other end, unfortunately, but. Look, yeah, great to get those couple of goals and come out the right side of that game. But a fantastic game, I must say. Look, in fairness to Eve Larry, they've had a great run the last few years, and look, just thankfully we got over the line in the end.
And you were thankful to get those 3 goals. They really got you over the line in the end.
They were huge, you know, and I mean, look, they came at a real pivotal time in the game. It was nip and tuck the whole game. They got a goal there early in the first half, and you know, it was nip and tuck, and we kind of got the 3 goals in a space of maybe 7 or 8 or 10 minutes, you know, in the middle of the second half, and look, that gave us a good platform then to see out the game, thankfully. So yeah, real positive, and it keeps us involved for another few weeks this time of year. I'm used to playing for the wrong reasons at this time of year, or even getting ready at training for the following year. So it's great to be still in the championship in October, definitely.
It's a great change, really, not to be involved in a relegation battle and involved in an actual final to chance for promotion. It's a brilliant feeling.
It is. It's fantastic there, and like we've been training there midweek. You know, there's kind of generators and lights set up for us there below in Wolftown Park. You know, and look, in fairness, anything we've needed all year has been provided by the club and by the community, and it's great to have those headaches where you're trying to get lads together early for training because it's getting dark. You know. So yeah, it's great to be still playing for the right reasons at this time of year.
And as I mentioned at the start, you're going for your first adult trophy in 24 years. Arthur mentioned that as well. Like, that's amazing, really. And if you win it now on Sunday, like, that'd be a huge achievement for Bantry to win that title for the first time. A title for the first time in 24 years. That'd be big for the area, I'd imagine.
Yeah, look, to be fantastic. You know, I mean, everyone's looking forward to the game. There's no doubt about it. And I suppose, look, we're just trying to focus on the game and not think too much about after the game, win, lose, or draw, whatever the case may be. But look, yeah, look, I mean, it's look, I grew up in Bantry, and you know, when the teams, the mid 90s, the 95, 98 team, like, I mean, we grew up looking at those players, going to those games and experiencing the thrill and the excitement, the celebrations after those games. So look, whatever will happen on Sunday week, you know, whatever will be. But look, there'll be great celebrations, great excitement if we can come out the right side. There'll be no doubt, no doubt about it. You know, and 24 years is a long time. It's 2 generations. It's certainly 1 footballing generation, and it's the bones of 2 footballing generations, to be fair. You know, so yeah, great to be back there, and hopefully we can push on now as well.
And just looking at your performances this year, like the whole team has really put something in this year. Like the spread of scores I was looking at in the lead up to this game: Arthur Coakley with 314, Rory Deed with 2-9, obviously a former intercounty player with Cork, huge player, Paddy Cronin, Dan Murray, even yourself has gotten the score sheet once as well. Like the spread of scores is unbelievable.
I don't know how you mean even myself. Why wouldn't I be? No, for sure. Like, I mean, because look, you're looking at the scores there. I mean, even if you look at the number of players that have probably played and featured in championship, you know, look, there was a few injuries in earlier rounds. Look, everyone is back now, or thereabout. There's great competition for places, and yeah, look, a great selection of people scoring as well. And I mean, look, everyone knows in this day and age, it's about 15, 20 players that's going to play on any given day, and it's about 25 or even 30 lads in training, you know, to create that bit of competition and for lads to be pushing each other on, you know. So, yeah, great spread of scores, some great young lads there, in fairness. Look, everyone knows Rory and Arthur now in recent years, but some really, really good young forwards and defenders as well, too. You know, some guys, I suppose myself, getting back involved and being considerably older than the majority of lads in the team. Look, there's young lads there who I'm meeting for the first time. You know, I know their fathers, or I know of their fathers. So to see some of these guys play in the flesh now and to train with them and see what they're capable of is really, really exciting for Bantry into the future. You know, because there's some really, really good talent there, and brilliant that some of these guys get the chance to play in Páirc Uí Chaoimh now Sunday week.
The mix, you mentioned it there, with lads like yourself, experience, Rory Deeds experience as well. The young lads coming in, like the mix of youth experience, that really bodes well for this season as well.
There's a nice mix there, Matthew. Yeah, you know, I mean, look, they're all pretty young to me now at this stage. Rory will be one of the more seasoned campaigners there. Dave Daly and Sean Larry as well. Like, there's good experience in the team, you know, and there's a nice little blend. And I think it's all about creating that bit of competition as well, too. You know, look, whether you're young, old, or whatever the case may be, it'll be the best 15, it'll start, it'll be the next kind of 5 or 6 lads, whoever gives us the best chance of winning the game will come on, you know. So, yeah, there's a nice blend there for sure. And there's good old buzz in the team as well, too, you know. We had a few great old nights after those championship wins, and kind of young or old, everyone's together, which is really great to see, you know. Really, really enjoyable this year playing with them.
You mentioned the buzz around the panel. There'll be definitely a buzz around the town as well, like the bunting up in Bantry. Like, that hasn't been seen in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Driving through the town there at the start of the week was great to see the bunting up there on one of the streets. And I've no doubt now this weekend and even next week there'll be plenty of flags and lots more popping up around the town. So it's great. It's great to be involved and great to have that buzz around for sure.
And you mentioned the aspect of playing in Páirc Uí Chaoimh as well, the Cork GA HQ. It's a huge stadium now, new redeveloped stadium. Like, for the lads, especially the younger lads, to play in that stadium, that'll be big for them.
Big day out. Look, big day. There's no doubt about it. And look, I think the key, or one of the tasks for ourselves over the next 10 days is just to kind of get it into lads' mind. It's just another game, you know, and whether it's Páirc Uí Chaoimh, Páirc Uí Ring, Dunmanway or Wolftown Park at home, it is just another game. It's, you know, it's 15 against 15, it's 20 against 20. And I think, look, the time for thinking about Páirc Uí Chaoimh and enjoying it and enjoying the event is after the fact, you know, to look back on and say, look, this is what we done, or this is what we achieved, or this is what we didn't achieve. But yeah, look, really exciting to be going there for sure. And look, particularly the new developed stadium as well too. Like, it's a fantastic asset to have in Cork GA, and look, delighted to be going there playing. But look, it's just another game. It just happens to be in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, so I think that'll be one of the things to focus on now for the next 10 days.
And like, we were chatting off air as well about your own life as well. Like, you've been all around the country really. I hear you're in Dublin right now. You were at Clare years ago as well, playing with a Clare club called, correct me if I'm wrong pronouncing this now, St. Joseph's Dura Bearfields. I think it's the name of it.
Dura Bearfields, yeah. St. Joseph's Dura Bearfields, spot on.
Glad I got that spot on now. But yeah, it's some journey you've been on in Clare and Dublin, and of course down to Bantry as well. Like, so you've been all over the country.
Bit all over, yeah. Look, I'm just in Dublin a couple of days there, kind of midweek from every second week or things like that would work. But yeah, look, I had 7 years living in Ennis and seven great years, Matthew. I must say it's a fantastic place to live, fantastic people. Really, really enjoyed our time there. And I mean, look, myself, and my wife, and our kids, if we were to spend the rest of our lives there, we wouldn't have lost a wink of sleep. But at the same time, it wasn't home, it wasn't Bantry. There was probably always a bit of a draw to maybe get back one day. And look, when the opportunity kind of came up career-wise and work-wise, look, myself and my wife, Mary Kate, look, we jumped at it, and we're only back kind of since maybe the end of July, start of August there. But delighted to be back. But I must say, look, Clare, beautiful place to visit. West Clare football is football mad there. And some great footballing people and clubs kind of from Ennis heading back west as well too. So absolutely had some great times up there for sure.
And like, if you were to reminisce on the Clare Championship at the moment and compare to the Cork Championship, would you say still the Cork Championship is better than the Clare Championship, or do you think the Clare Championship is catching up with the County Championship down here?
It's hard to compare, And when I went to Clare 7 years ago or whatever it was, everyone was asking me that, like, how does senior championship in Clare compare to Cork? And even now that I'm back again, people are asking me again, how does it compare? And I suppose I've had the benefit or the misfortune to play senior and intermediate in Cork, and I've had the benefit or misfortune of playing senior and intermediate in Clare as well, as it turned out. But I don't know. It's hard to compare. Like, I mean, there's some really, really good players in Clare in the clubs, and as I said, there's some huge footballing clubs in Clare as well, and huge footballing people, and as I said, really, really good players. And I mean, look, the Clare set up under Colin Collins the last 10 years, like they've achieved some fantastic things and really gone about changing the footballing culture in Clare, But even at a club level, there's some fantastic players, and the standard is very good, Matthew. How does it compare to Cork? It's hard to say. I mean, I think the real proof in the pudding is when it comes down to Munster Championship, and how a Cork team gets on against a Kerry champion or a Clare champion. I think that's the only true comparison. And I suppose, look, last year, I know the Bars pipped Éireoga of Ennis by a few points in the Munster semi-final, and look, both those teams are are still in the championship again, senior. I know at the intermediate, look, whoever does come out of ourselves and Kanturk, you have Cork, Clare and Kildysart waiting on the Clare side again, because I think it's Clare and Cork are drawn this year in the Munster Championships, So look, that's the real true test, So I wouldn't like to say whether the standard is better in Cork or Clare or club level, because my phone might light up later on one way or another. But yeah, so look, the standard is very good up there. There's no doubt about it, and some great players and some great footballing people, definitely.
Brilliant balanced answer there. Like, you're watch your back answering that.
And look, the wheel is always turning, Matthew, and as you said, I'm traveling around a lot, so try not to offend anyone. But no, look, I must say, fantastic place. Really enjoyed our time there. And look, I think when you're involved in the GAA, you kind of settle into anywhere in the country. It's one of the great things about Ireland and the Irish people and the GAA. But I must say, in Clare and in West Clare and in Ennis, like being involved in football and getting involved, like, I mean, it made it so easy to settle into a community. It was really, really good, and have some great friends back in Clare, and hopefully we'll stay in touch with them over the years,
And I suppose looking forward again to the Sunday's final, it's going to be big for the Bantry community, the fans as well, for them to go up to Páirc Uí Chaoimh, a double header as well in that day. Then you're playing Kanturk at the 4 o'clock game. Like, it's going to be so exciting for the whole community.
Well, it'll be a great day out. I've no doubt there'll be plenty of cars and buses heading up, and they might have a few stops along the way and a few stops home. So look, it's hopefully it will be a great day out, and look, hopefully we can get the job done and keep the celebrations going thereafter. Yeah, but look, it's great. It's great for the community, and look, there's some great real clubmen there, who've no matter what the misfortune or disappointment over the years, they've always togged out and played, or they've always done their bit in the club, and really, really happy for all those people, both players and fans and supporters and club people. So really looking forward to it, definitely, yeah, and I think everyone is.
And what would it mean to the people of Bantry? Like, I'd imagine already it's going to be so exciting if you manage to win the game. But like, what would it mean to the people of Bantry? Like, you won the Senior County Championship in 1998. to go and win another trophy 24 years later, like that'd be absolutely incredible.
Good. I think we want to know Tadhg Crowley Cup at some stage along the way as well too. But yeah, look, that doesn't quite cut it, I suppose. So look, I mean, it would be great. Look, I mean, getting back to the county final obviously is a great step. Obviously, we want to go on and hopefully try win it. But yeah, look, it would be great. And look, whatever happens, win or lose, I suppose. Look, carrying that momentum into next year and driving on with that. What is a relatively young team, Matt? You know, I mean, driving on and taking that bit of experience and that bit of confidence as well that lads have really generated over the last 4 games. I think that'll be the real. It's kind of one of the real objectives, you know. But look, obviously, if we could get our hands in the cup and bring it back to Bantry, it would be fantastic. You know, it really would.
It really would. It'd be a brilliant victory for West Cork as well if Bantry managed to do it. But thank you, Kevin, for your time. Wish you the best of luck now on Sunday. Hopefully, for the sake of West Cork, for the sake of the Southern Star, that you'll win the game on Sunday. And best of luck against Kanturk. All of West Cork is behind you, lads.
Sounds good, Matthew. Appreciate that. Good man.